Welcome back to MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things magic. I have a hankering to liberate the contents of a pre-constructed commander deck from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. So MTG BC, buckle up. What's up, MTGBC? That is the MTG Burgeoning community. Here we are about to crack open one of the pre-constructed commander decks from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. This time, it is Azorius Buckle Up. This is the vehicle deck, and I am anxious to see how this deck will work when we examine the 99, because they seemed to try to concentrate the strength of the vehicle mechanic in Azorius colors, which historically seems to have been stretched across the 5 colors pretty much in an equal basis. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do to try to make Azorius stand out as the host color pairing for vehicle decks now and in the future. You know how we love those dividers, but not as much as we love doing this. Shaplunk. Oh, there we go. A commander deck, a life spinner, a how to play, and our deck box. Here we go. Let's do it. Here it is. Oh, all right. This cellophane just wants to come off, and you know what? We are going to oblige it. Come on now. Oh, there we go. It may win a battle. It may win a skirmish. But MTG Burgeoning will always win the war, baby. There we go. All right. So let's take a look at the front-facing commander first, and then we'll work our way through the rest of the 99. Here we have Katori, Pilot Prodigy. 2/4 legendary Moonfolk Pilot for 1 in Azorius colors. Vehicles we control have crew 2. Right there, just having a massive crew reduction cost on a commander that cares about vehicles, that's something to bring attention to, because already you're setting the stage to make a mechanic that, let's face it, the crew cost could get out of hand with some of the vehicles that we've seen in Magic's history. Making each vehicle crewable for 2, right away you have my attention, Azorius. You have my attention. But we're not done. At the beginning of combat on our turn, target artifact creature we control gains lifelink and vigilance until end of turn. That's classic Azorius. Vigilance for defensive purposes, lifelink for the plan of playing the long game. So here we are with Katori. We're looking to crew our vehicles at a reduced rate. We're looking to give them the defensive mechanic of vigilance and gain some life to try to win in the long game. All right, Katori, you are the primary commander. Let's check out number 2. We have what is this? Oh, it's so hard with the foiling sometimes. Shortkai? Shorikai. Shorikai. Okay. Shorikai Genesis Engine. Same CMC of 2 in Azorius colors. It's an 8/8 legendary artifact vehicle. Whoa, okay. Right on the bottom it says, this could be your commander. Yowzas, an 8/8. Okay. It says crew 8. Tap any number of creatures to crew that. That's total power more of 8. See what I was saying? Ridiculous crew cost. However, in the presence of Katori, that's only going to cost 2. Of course, we couldn't have Shorikai be the general in that. Oh, actually, you probably could, because then you can just put Katori in the 99 as opposed to having it in the command zone. All right, tap 1, tap this, draw 2 cards, then discard a card, create a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token with. This creature crews vehicles as though its power were 2 or greater. Oh, wow. All right. You see right there, that is amazing synergy right here with the vehicles. I like that a lot. With Katori making your vehicles crewable with 2, this creating the pilots to do so. Yeah, I like that a lot. All right, very good. That's a great 1-2 punch. And that's, you know how hard it is for me to say that about an Azorius deck, MTGBC? You know my track record with Azorius. No fan am I of the white-blue color combination, but right there with those two, I'm hooked. Right now, I'm hooked. So let's keep going and let's see what else this deck has to offer. All right, we've got Imperial Recovery Unit. We have a vehicle here, 2 and a white, 3/4. Whenever Imperial Recovery Unit attacks, we return target creature or vehicle card with mana value 2 or less from our graveyard to our hand. Crew of 2, that's meh. Okay. Mobilizer Mech, 1 in a blue vehicle. This one flies. Ooh, 3/4 for 1 and okay, that's nice. When this becomes crewed, up to 1 other target vehicle we control becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Wow, that's awesome. Crew of 3, and it has evasion, and it's only 1 in a blue? Wow, that is really, really strong. Wow, okay. Wow, I'm very impressed by that. Wow, really? For just 2? Wow, okay. Prodigy's Prototype. Another vehicle, 3/4. This one's for 3. Whenever 1 or more vehicles we control attacks, create a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token. Oh, this is going to do what Shorikai does. And it only crews for 2. Whenever 1 or more. Boy, wouldn't it be amazing if it was whenever a vehicle you control attacks? Whenever they slide in that 1 or more, oh, it really just gets me. Could have been so much stronger. They definitely would have had to have bumped that rarity up, though. They still could have done it, but all right, let's see. All right, we have an Aeronaut Admiral. It's a flyer. Vehicles we control have flying. Okay, it's not a vehicle itself, but it is vehicle-centric. That'll work. Okay, Armed and Armored. 1 in a white instant. Vehicles you control become artifact creatures until end of turn. Wow, okay. Choose a dwarf you control. Attach any number of equipment you control to it. That is an interesting addition. If we looked at this card just from the vehicles we control become artifact creatures until end of turn, that's really strong for 1 in a white. The attach any number of equipment to it, the choose a dwarf we control and attach any number of equipment we control to it. I wonder how many dwarves and equipment are in this deck. All right. I mean, that is vehicle specific. Okay, we're getting into some removal here. Crush Contraband. All right. Dispatch. That's a very synergistic inclusion when we're dealing with so many artifacts by having another version of tap 1 to exile target creature. But this one isn't a Swords to Plowshare, and it's not a Path to Exile, so no life gained and no basic land searching. As long as we have at least 3 or more artifacts, that's just a straight-up exile effect, all for just 1 white mana. That's going to work every day and twice on Friday Night Magic. Generous gift. You go right over there into the sweetness pile. Mirror Smith, sure. There's our Swords to Plowshares. Whenever we're sitting down with a white deck, those are the first 2 whites. Those are 2 of the 3 first white spells I'm looking for. All right, Ethereum Sculptor. This is going to give our vehicles a 1 less to cast mana cost reduction. Reality Shift. That goes right into the awesome pile. Riddlesmith. Thought Cast. Okay, sure. Vidalcan Engineer. All right, yep. Actually, let me not pass by that card too quickly. This card is awesome because it's going to tap and give 2 mana of any one color, and we're only going to be able to use that mana to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts, but that's going to be every one of our vehicles because every vehicle is an artifact. So this is going to act as like a mana dork in blue centered around a synergy of vehicles. I wonder if the other one will be in here. There is also one, its name eludes me. It has nearly the identical effects as Vidalcan Engineer, except you tap a blue to sacrifice it to search your library for some artifact or something that has nothing to do with what it does. I can't remember what it's called. But it does the exact same thing of adding 2 mana of any one color to only be used for artifact spells. Pretty sweet there. All right, Whirler Rogue for more artifacts. Arcanist Owl. Well, that's from Throne, I think. Wrath Capuchin. There you go. Casting those historic spells as though they had flash. That's pretty much going to be every one of our vehicles. There's our Arcane Signet. There's an Azorius Signet. Let's not overlook the value of seeing a reprinted Azorius Signet. Let's throw that bad boy into the sweet pile. Oh, here we go, Colossal Plow. Now, when we were talking earlier about the crew cost, look at the crew cost here is 6, but with Katori on the battlefield, it's only going to be 2. And whenever Colossal Plow attacks, we add 3 white mana and gain 3 life. And we get that mana until the end of our turn. 6/3, pretty nice right there. All right. Ooh, Felwar Stone. Now, that is an artifact that they do not regularly print. What am I kidding? This is probably its 13th or 14th reprinting, and it's still like a $6 card. Nice right there. All right, Foundry Inspector, another artifact reducer. Gold Mirror, another Mana Dork. Here we have another vehicle, 4/4. When it attacks, we look at the top card of our library. If it's a land, we put it onto the battlefield tapped. All right, not bad. Investment of 3, crew 3. 4/4, meh. That one's just okay to me. It's just a common. Okay, here's a Shimmer Mirror, which is going to give us kind of a Wrath Capuchin effect by allowing us to cast our artifact spells as though they had flash. Some more ramping here with the Silver Mirror. Wow, this is not a typical Azorius deck. As we've already seen, we're probably about halfway through the non-land spells in this deck, and I'm just looking at... Whoa. Okay, hang on. Not looking to tip the camera here. I'm looking at... That's how kerfuffled I am right now by going through an Azorius deck that is not of a control nature. This, so far, is just shaping up to be a tribal beatdown deck, and I like a lot. All right, here we got another vehicle, 2 and a white. We got a rare one here. It flies. It's a 3/4. When it attacks, if defending player controls more lands than we do, we search our library for a basic plains and put it onto the battlefield tapped, and all it has to do is attack. That's awesome. And we're in Azorius colors, so it's not like we're going to have a ton of ways to ramp up. All right, Drum Bellower. Okay, Drum Bellower. 2/1 flyer. Untap all creatures we control during each other player's untap step. It's a green ability. Why are they putting this on a white spirit? Just a white random spirit. Okay, interesting. All right, we have Iron Soul Enforcer, a 4/4 for 5. When it or a commander we control attacks, return target artifact card from our graveyard to the battlefield. Interesting synergy. All right. Got to put our commander in harm's way by doing that. Perhaps the reward would be worth it. Organic Extinction, 8 and 2 white. Improvise. All right. That's going to help us because we can tap our artifacts to help pay the spell of this for 1 colorless mana for each artifact we tap. Destroy all non-artifact creatures. Yeah, that would keep our vehicles really wouldn't be artifact creatures most of the time anyways. Well, actually no, because we could crew them up during our turn, cast this, destroy all of our creatures up. All of our opponents' non-artifact creatures, we will most likely end up losing some too because we would have to crew our dudes. I don't know about that one. I'm always wary about including cards like that may do us as much harm as our opponents. Release to Memory, 3 and a white. Exile target opponent's graveyard for each creature card exiled this way. Create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token. Why don't they fly? Seriously, why aren't these spirits flying around? Honestly, though, that is a pretty sweet card. I mean, it's not like graveyards aren't abused every single game that we sit down to play Commander. I mean, this is EDH. Graveyards just act as an extension of our hand, and at instant speed to end of turn and exile an entire graveyard of an opponent and get the benefit of getting a bunch of 1/1 chumpies. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet card. But it's not as sweet as this card. I think this is the best card in these Commander decks. I think this is going to be one of the best cards of the entire Kamigawa set. This, as we were talking about earlier with Dispatch, when we were highlighting 1-mana spells that you cast at instant speed, like Swords to Plowshares to exile a creature, Path to exile a creature, and now Dispatch to exile a creature. This is 1 mana at flash speed. It does not exile the creature, but it neuters the commander. I'm sorry, it neuters the creature right down to just becoming a vehicle. Okay, because Enchanted Permanent is a vehicle artifact with crew 5, and it loses all other card types. So it's not going to be a creature unless it's crewed. So this can be used in a variety of different ways. We can go on the defensive and cast this on our commander if we need to in response to a global board wipe or in response to a spot removal spell. Because once this is on to our commander, we can just say, well, it's not a creature. It's an artifact vehicle. It's a vehicle artifact. So your terminate is just going to fizzle. On the offensive side, we can just cast this on one of our opponent's creatures and just bring that creature down to just being a vehicle that isn't going to be a creature unless you're paying 5 to crew it. This, in my opinion, will be the most valuable card in both of the Kamigawa Preconstructed Commander decks. This card is really, really good. Oh, access denied, counterspell. Just when I was singing the praises of Azorius not being about control, here come the counterspells. There's one. All right, here we have a construct. Other artifact creatures we control have flying. Love that for those vehicles that fly. When Cyberdrive Awakener ETBs until end of turn, each non-creature artifact we control becomes an artifact creature with base power toughness 4/4. Oh, geez. That could be a game winner. If we have enough vehicles in play and our opponents are struggling with their own creatures on their side of the battlefield, we can look at Cyberdrive Awakener as a potential win condition. Wow, nice design space right there on that card. Imposter Mech. Okay, we got a rare. It's 1 and a blue. 3/1, crew of 3, but if we have Katori in play, it's only going to be a crew of 2. We may have Imposter Mech enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature an opponent controls, except it's a vehicle artifact with crew 3 and loses all other card types. That is awesome. Wow. I am really, really enjoying how this deck is put together. Turtle Warrior, Kappa Cannoneer. Okay, Turtle Warrior, 5 and a blue for 4/4. Improvise brings that down even more. Ooh, Ward 4 gives it a nice bit of protection. Wow, Ward 4. That's nothing to turn your nose up. How would you like to pay a Swords to Plowshare for 5? Whenever an artifact ETB is under our control, put a +1/+1 counter on Kappa Cannoneer, and it can't be blocked this turn. Wow, okay. Protects itself, has a built-in cost reducer, and can get bigger and bigger and attack for Wow, that card is really good. Holy mackerel. Sweet card right there. Nice. All right, Katsumasa the Animator, 3/3 legendary Moonfolk Artificer with flying for 2 and 2 blue mana. Pay 2 and a blue until end of turn. Target non-creature artifact we control becomes an artifact creature and gains flying. If it's not a vehicle, it has base power and toughness 1/1 until end of turn. Oh, it will be a vehicle at the beginning of your upkeep. At the beginning of our upkeep. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 3 target non-artifact creatures. Oh my goodness. This deck is built so well to do what it wants to do. Wow, that is really, really impressive. Wow, I'm blown away at how good this deck is right now. Research Thief, 4 and a blue. Flash Flying, 3/3. Whenever an artifact we control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Now, that's what I'm talking about right there. Whenever an artifact creature, not whenever one or more artifact creatures, right there. Whenever an artifact creature we control deals combat damage to a player, bam, draw a card. 3 of them, draw 3 cards. That's what I'm talking about. Research Thief, nice. Universal Surveillance, X and triple blue. Improvise, all right, draw X cards. Yeah, that could work. All right, back to our vehicles. Surge Hacker Mech. 5/5 with Menace, crew 4, CMC of 4. When it ETBs, it deals damage equal to twice the number of vehicles we control to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Yeah, that's not terrible. Pop a creature, pop a planeswalker. All right. Oh, the Cataclysmic Gear Hulk. Wow, nice to see this one made an appearance. Good reprint in this deck. That's some of our removal right there. Nice. Oh, of course we have to have the Indomitable Archangel, because if we're artifact heavy, we need to give those artifacts Shroud as long as we control 3 or more of them. Oh, the Parhelion 2. This was one of my favorite cards from War of the Spark. I opened a lot of War of the Spark, both on the channel and off, to the equivalent of probably around a case's worth. And throughout my journey of opening up all of those boxes and all of those packs, not one time did I pull a copy of, at the time, this 25-cent rare. I actually had to go out and get a copy of it because I couldn't get it in a pack, and I liked it so much. I really love this card. I have this in my kitchen table mono white angel deck. I love the Parhelion 2, and I'm so glad to see it in this vehicle deck. Shram, great inclusion right there. Nice whenever you're casting an aura or equipment or vehicle spell, we're drawing a card. I don't know about the auras in this deck, but there's definitely a lot of vehicles, so draw a card. Very awesome. Tashar, yep, whenever we cast a historic spell, which anytime we cast a vehicle, we can return a target creature card with mana value 3 or more right from our graveyard to the battlefield. Great synergy right there. Oh, there's Emery. Oh boy, Emery was going to pair with Tashar very well. Just awesome. Choose target artifact card in our graveyard. We can cast this card. Oh my goodness. Jace, the Architect of Thought. All right. Planeswalker comes in with 4 loyalty counters, +1. Whenever a creature an opponent controls attacks, it's getting -1, -0. Okay, that's all right. -2, reveal the top 3 cards of our library. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other on the bottom of your library in any order. Bah. For each creature, search that player's library for a non-land card and exile it. Then that player shuffles. We may cast those cards without paying their mana costs. This must be the auto-include perfunctory Planeswalker addition to this deck. I would replace this one with a different one. All right, what's up? We got Master of Ethereum. Yeah, more artifact synergies. Very, very good. Sai, Master Thopterist, even more. Wow, they really have this built extraordinarily well. At the beginning of your upkeep, we have Thopter Spy Network, so we're going to get some more artifact creatures. Dance of the Mance, because why not? We're going to get those vehicles back from our graveyard and put them into play. And if we have at least 6 or more, if X is 6 or more, they're going to be 4/4 creatures in addition to their other types. Not sure I would do that. I mean, historically, when I've played with Dance in the Mance, I wanted to make sure that those I wanted to make sure that those enchantments or artifacts stayed away from being creatures so that they weren't so susceptible to mass global creature board wipes. But to each their own, right? Oh, Hannah, return an artifact or enchantment from our graveyard to our hand. That's vehicle recursion. And here we're going to get into our other vehicles near the end of the deck. We got our Cultivator's Caravan. 3, crew 3, 5/5, tap for a mana of any color. Oh, they reprinted. I forgot about this. Mirage Mirror is in this deck. Wow, Mirage Mirror, what a great card. Love that card. Right there, Eric R. Right there, Mirage Mirror, Eric R. Are you watching? Are you listening? There's our card. Peace Walker Colossus, another one, 6/6 for 3, crew 4, but not with Katori. 1 and a white, another target vehicle we control becomes an artifact creature till end of turn. Oh, beautiful synergy. Oh, they got the Sky Sovereign in here. That is just magnificent. Beautiful addition, the Sky Sovereign. Oh, Smuggler's Copter. Solemn Simulacrum, we all know what that does. Oh, they did put the Weatherlight. I forgot that the Weatherlight is in here. Oh, I am beyond impressed. Here are our lands. Our tokens. There's our Katori. I love that they did this. I love that they gave the cardboard proxy a little better treatment. Wow. All right, final thoughts here on the Buckle Up deck. I am blown away at how this deck is constructed. I love the fact that Wizards took the Azorius color pair and completely shifted away from the uber control that it could be, minus the inclusion of one counterspell, and built what seems to be in paper, I have yet to playtest this deck, of course, but what seems to be in paper an extremely strong tribal deck, which, let's face it, there are a stack, well, the stack isn't too big, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, there's 14 vehicles included in this deck, unless I missed some, but I don't think I did. I really think that this deck has a very, very high rate of playability. I think that, honestly, this is a deck that I might like to keep together and then just see what I can do from an upgrading standpoint. I really think that there is a lot of room for this deck to improve, and that's not me saying that it looks weak. I think that this is a very highly playable, let's keep it together, let's make it even stronger, and let's get it into the BCC. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This is MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things Magic.